All right. So the Trump administration sued 15 federal judges today in Maryland over an order that pauses any deportations um, under legal challenges in the state for 48 hours. So he's now suing on the civil side judges. If you're not aware as to why that's insane, um, I'll get to that in just a second. But very clearly, this is another attack on the judiciary. He is trying to assert dominance. It is a desperate move. I know that people may sound concerned by this. It is a desperate move inherently. And it comes from the fact that he's just getting shot down in the courts and he's trying to establish some form of power control, whatever. Typically, the way it works, he will bring a court case, or he will, sorry, I had a joke. He will bring a court case um, and then lose, and then that's the end of it. He'll bring a court case, and then he'll lose, and then you'll challenge it, right? So you'll take it to a court, you'll lose, you'll challenge it, you'll move up. You lose there, you challenge it, you move up. He keeps losing at the lower courts, and it's being reinforced by the higher courts. The Supreme Court can't get to everything. They only get to things that have substantial challenges. They can't take every case. They can't take a ton of them. So it's really left up in a lot of ways to lower federal courts, specifically appellate courts, and whether or not they apply their decision to the entirety of the United States, which is becoming increasingly common. It does make sense, but it also does, obviously, in the system we live in, open it up for ideological, moves made within the court, is to be able to say this is true for the entirety of the United States. In this instance, though, he's suing the judges. So they come down and they give their ruling, and then he sues them. Now, is this going to go anywhere? No. That's why I call it a desperate move. There's absolutely no way that they're going to allow him to sue judges over them acting in their official capacity. One, there's a lot of case law on this, but basically they're given free reign. They can't, unless a higher court overturns them, that's pretty much it. Their decision is final. And it's also part of their duty, right? In the same respect, and this is true, we have a system in America that came up with, literally made up by the Supreme Court, uh, uh, of immunity for police officers or other government officials that cannot be sued uh, in the course of their job, unless what they do has already previously been established as being wrong by the courts. Obviously, that makes it really difficult to sue police officers and other government officials, which is why you see them sue the department so often, or the city, is because suing those officers is really difficult. Suing those government officials is really difficult because they're given a lot of protections by the Supreme Court, and this is going to be one of those protections. To me, it comes off as a desperate move. It is in line with what Trump wants to do, which is try and scare people, but it's pretty sad. I don't even think it's ever been done. It's going to get thrown out immediately, like dismissed with prejudice, because it's insane. It really is. I would be and I think that there's a larger concerning part about the officials that brought this case, because you got to be crazy to take this in front of a judge that's going to be overseeing your stuff and put it in front of someone that could potentially turn around and be like, I'm going to submit your law license for review. This is insane. So you got to be either really stupid or really ballsy. And granted, with the type of talent that Trump has brought in, I'm leaning more towards stupid.
No.
We'll have to see. But I suspect there's probably going to be a not so happy judge on the receiving end of this lawsuit that's going to slam it down really, really hard. So that's my thoughts as far as what's going to concerning that. This is the Trump administration's attempt to try and control the judiciary so that they agree with him. But ultimately, he's failing. He's failing. And there's a concerning part here. Sorry, I'm yapping, but there is a concerning part here that needs to be addressed. He's failing. At what point does he start going to getting angry? And what's he going to do? How is he going to lash out? How is he going to react? Because he's failing. I'm not sure how much of this is being controlled by the administration at large and how much of it is being controlled directly by him. That's unknowable. Because if it is him, he's going to lose his mind. If it's and then he'll forget. If it's not him, they're not going to forget, and they're just going to keep going and plugging away at this. So it really does matter who's behind this, as far as the extent of which it's going to affect the judiciary. but ultimately, it's a failure. It's going to fail in court. It looks insane. I cannot believe a lawyer would bring this, and I would be very concerned for my law license. Not a lawyer, but I would be very concerned for my law license if I did, because this is nutso. It really is rubber room stuff. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's crazy, crazy town. Jaden, you got any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, this is in line with what they've been doing all year, really. They introduced HR 1526, or NORA, which essentially acts as a limitation on the authority of district court judges to provide injunctive relief. Reason as to why is because they don't agree with what the courts are doing as it relates to checks and balances and the stoppings and the blockings that they do of this administration. They don't care at the fact that people who have put their careers on the lines are now directly under threat by these supporters, by these representatives, by the executive government. That's not of their concern. It is whether or not they can push forth an ideological argument regardless of what the court agrees with or not. And I think this sets a dangerous precedent, as well as what you said, in the attacks that are sustained on the court and how much damage will be ensued in months or years to come. They ultimately don't believe in the court. They don't believe that as an equal branch of government, one worthy of equal value. So this is just in
Right, and
line
the
with their
one thing,
behavior.
yeah, the one thing that's restricting them in this regard is that the officials that are bringing the actions, the officials that are carrying out the dirty work, they're putting themselves in the line of sight, and it's taking them a while, but they are recognizing how bad it's going to be for them if they continue. And the courts really haven't had to go after administration officials that severely yet, but it's been threatened. So I just want to bring that up. By the way, Katie, uh, Katie is a lawyer, just said the injunctive. What did she say? She said current injunction statistic 93% loss. Trump loses 93% of cases in court.
That's why. That's why he's attacking them.
Yeah. So, we'll see how it all plays out. Ultimately, I kind of get this vibe from the entirety of the Trump administration. It's a colossal failure across the board. It really is. It's a colossal failure. Everything that they have done has been shot down, or at least a lot of them. Sure, they've gotten some wins, very few, and I expect that to continue. But how's he going to lash out? And that we'll just have to wait and see.